What's up, YouTube? We're going to do a little discussion today. So, this discussion, if you haven't already guessed by the title down below, is going to be how to start yo-yoing. So, let's say, hypothetically, you've now seen some yo-yo videos, and you're interested in what modern yo-yoing has become. You want to do string tricks, you want to do, whatever. You saw a yo-yo contest or some yo-yo tricks, and now you want to learn. But, as I've discussed before in my discussions, you can't find modern yo-yos in retail stores usually. It's pretty difficult, and if you find one, it's usually at a specialty store or a store that hosts a yo-yo club or has been, and everybody doesn't have those. I've been told a million times by a ton of people, we don't have specialty stores that have yo-yos. We do in Pittsburgh, SW Randall downtown, so if you're in Pittsburgh and you want to learn with a modern yo-yo, SW Randall downtown does have modern yo-yos. However, if you're not around a store that has them, here's how you get started today learning how to yo-yo. First things first, you're going to need a yo-yo. I'm going to recommend you go to your local Target, and they should have the Duncan Butterfly XT. Now, what is the Duncan Butterfly XT? Now, the Butterfly XT is a responsive yo-yo that has a ball bearing in it. It's a little wider than the original Butterfly. Here's the original Duncan Butterfly. The Butterfly XT is a little wider than the original Butterfly. It's got a stainless steel ball bearing in it. It screws apart, and it's only $5. So, to get started today, my recommendation is going to be to buy a Duncan Butterfly XT, because you can get them at Wal-Mart, and they're about $5 at Walmart. You can also change the caps out on them. I changed my caps out. The caps say Duncan Butterfly XT, but I put Raptor caps in because I wanted to. Which is also a cool thing with Duncans, is you can change the caps on the plastics and some of the metals too. But you could get different caps for them and stuff, which is fun. It's always been fun. But get a Duncan Butterfly XT at Walmart for $5. Because the first things you're going to want to learn are the beginner tricks. So we'll get into this a little bit later. But for the beginner tricks, you're just going to want to learn how to throw and catch the yo-yo. As long as the beginning and the end of every trick is throwing and catching the yo-yo. So you're going to want to learn how to do that. And this is a great yo-yo to do that with, because it's very low maintenance, screws apart, comes all strung up, ready to go. Nothing to learn there. No maintenance, nothing. You could just get right into throwing. And I like that. It's also pretty solid. I've had this for a little while. It's just as good as it was the day I bought it. So for $5, great way to get started. Duncan Butterfly XT. Go to Target, grab one of those first if you're going to get started today. Other options, if you don't have Target, or for some reason your Target doesn't have a Duncan Butterfly XT, the regular Duncan Butterfly will work just fine. You can find these at Walmart or at I got this one at Five and Below. I've seen them all over the place. You can get them at Toys R Us. This will work just fine if this is all you can get, the regular Duncan Butterfly. Now, the regular Duncan Butterfly is a little tougher to use. It doesn't have a ball bearing. It's just a fixed axle responsive. Not that it's a bad yo-yo. It's not. But it's going to be a little bit more frustrating for a beginner to use than the Butterfly XT is going to be. But these are like $3, so if it's all you got, I mean, it's not a bad option. We'll get into other stuff too. Now, if you have a Toys R Us, you can. I still recommend the Butterfly XT for $5. I think this is a better way to start. The other thing you can get is the Duncan Freehand. The freehand should be at your local Toys R Us's. As you can see, you can change the caps to the metal ring or whatever later. So the freehand is more modifiable and will stick with you longer. But the freehand's about $15. And to modify it's going to cost more. So, probably not. I'd still recommend picking up a Raptor. But the Duncan freehand, if you have a Toys R Us, is a good option too, because it comes responsive as well. It's also a twist apart design. It has a ball bearing and all that stuff. And and the one they sell at Toys R Us is also responsive. So not a bad option. I just don't think that it's as much bang for the buck or as worth it to buy the responsive one as it is, at least for a first yo-yo, as it is just to pick up a Butterfly XT if you can find it. Now, in addition to that, there are yo-yoing websites, if you don't have a modern store, where you can get, I don't want to call them beginner because they're yo-yos that I still play with, but you can get inexpensive plastic unresponsive yo-yos. And unresponsive is you need to have a bind, you need to be able to perform a bind maneuver. So I wouldn't recommend starting with these yo-yos. You're just going to want to learn how to throw and catch it first, but being able to bind later down the road is going to be very useful. Two yo-yos that I would recommend moving up to once you've mastered the throw and catch with your Duncan Butterfly XT or your regular Butterfly or your Duncan Freehand. Two yo-yos that I would recommend upgrading to once you've got the throw and catch it thing down, or have progressed as far as the Duncan Butterfly will let you. A little more high performance, but also great bang for the buck yo-yos are some Yo-Yo Factory yo-yos. This is the Yo-Yo Factory Replay Pro. I'm a big fan of the Replay Pro because it's $16, and for $16 you get a lot of yo-yo. It spins a long time. It's got a really big catch zone, and it's just nice. It's a nice yo-yo. So Yo-Yo Factory Replay Pro is a great option to upgrade to for the $16 that it costs. It's super fun. Comes in a bazillion different colors too, so you can find something that suits you. This one is pink. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so throw in some pink replay this month for sure. The other one, which is about $20, is the Yo-Yo Factory Protostar. Now the Protostar is a little bit older of a yo-yo, but as far as performance is concerned, it's a little better performing than the Replay Pro. So it's gonna cost you about $4 more, but you get better performance, longer spin times, and it's pretty sweet yo-yo. Sorry, I haven't thrown this morning like at all, but happy Saturday, right? So yeah, Protostar, other one you might want to upgrade to afterwards. So now you're gonna ask, what now? Okay, so I've got a yo-yo and I know what yo-yo to upgrade to. Where do I learn how to yo-yo? Where do I learn these yo-yo tricks? And where do I go to buy my yo-yos? Now I'm gonna show you. All right, guys, and we are back. So where are you going to go to learn how to yo-yo? This is where I went. yoyoexpert.com. Big fan of Yo-Yo Expert. They sell pretty much every yo-yo ever. They also have a great tutorial series that's free. So this is where I did most of my learning. I just appreciate the way Andre did the tutorials. But you can also go to yoyotricks.com. They also do a lot of really, really good stuff. As well as I have some tutorials on my channel as well. I've got a playlist of yo-yo trick tutorials that I have done on my channel as well. And since you found me, there's mine as well. Mine are not as diverse or as organized as these other sites, though. This is what they do. So let's say you go to Yo-Yo Expert, and you've just got your brand new Duncan Butterfly XT. You're going to go to Learn. And once you hit Learn, it's all organized for you. Beginner, Intermediate, Advanced, Advanced Part 2, Expert, Expert Part 2, and Master. There's also looping tricks, two-handed looping, off-string tricks, off-string with Ben Condi, counterweight tricks, counterweight with Miguel Carrera. So lots of great trick tutorials here. But basically, you are going to start at the absolute beginning. Watch all the videos, basic types of yo-yo, basic 5 styles of play, basics of yo-yo string just to get your bearings. Haha, get it? Get your bearings. And then you are going to start with the gravity pull. This is your standard throw and catch. And, you know, then you move on to sleeper, walk the dog, creeper, forward pass, around the world. You can do all of these. Jamaican flag, rock the baby, breakaway, Eiffel Tower, flying saucer, pop the clutch. All of these are very, very doable on the Duncan Butterfly XT. In fact, they're probably easier on the Butterfly XT than they are on most modern yo-yos. Especially the ones that are necessary to be responsive, like pop the clutch or flying saucer. Then you can move into intermediate. Once you get here, you know, brain twister, stop and go. Well, stop and go, you need to have a responsive yo-yo. Split bottom mount, sidewinder, atomic bomb, ripcord, Mach 5. Somewhere probably in intermediate, although you could perform all the intermediate tricks on your Duncan Butterfly XT, somewhere in intermediate, you are going to decide that it's going to be much easier for you to do these and to learn on an unresponsive yo-yo. And that's all very good, and you should do that at that point. You know, if that's where you want to upgrade to once you've got all the beginner stuff down, and you want to upgrade to an unresponsive yo-yo in the middle of your intermediate tricks, that would be a good time to do it. So, where do you buy these unresponsive yo-yos? Well, notice how it says shop up here. You can buy unresponsive yo-yos at yoyoexpert.com, and you can buy the Replay Pro and the Protostar. If you go over here to brands, Yo-Yo Factory, it'll be in there. And you could buy them from yoyoexpert.com or yoyotricks.com. And there's lots of other sites as well, yoyobestbuy, yoyosam, lots of great sites to buy yo-yos from, and you will figure these out as you go through yo-yoing. As far as Yo Tricks is concerned, they also have good organization of stuff here. You come down, click yo-yo tricks, and then, you know, they've got you laid out beginner tricks, get started, 1A tricks, 2A tricks. So lots of good organization here as well. Either site is going to work well to teach you how to yo-yo, and you know, then you can actually go and work on it. So let's show you how to work on your yo-yo tricks.